Hello there, my name is Ben Chapman, and welcome to a new Total Extreme Wrestling series, because the last ones has been so long since I've touched, because I completely fell out of love with the game temporarily. But I'm back now, I'm starting to get more passionate into it, and I want to try and make something big without trying to burn myself out. So my question for you is, do I have your attention now? Because we're doing Summer of 2011. More famously known as the Summer of Punk. That's our era we are starting to save in. Raw and SmackDown with developmental of FCW. And we're not quite in the build to Money in the Bank, we're on the build up to Capital Punishment, which is the pay-per-view before Money in the Bank. So we haven't got long until we get to our big CM Punk John Cena match. We've got a little bit to get through first, and we kick off our first episode of Raw, episode 941 of Raw. So we also have to think about Raw 1000 coming up soon, next year at least. And we kick off with Alex Riley, Evan Bourne, Mason Ryan, Titus O'Neil versus Darren Young, Skip Sheffield, David Otunga, and Michael McGillicuddy. And it goes 10 minutes 36 on the pre-show this is, so it's not really affecting the main show. And Evan Bourne pins Skip Sheffield with a cyclorama. If we look at the ratings for all these people, Evan Bourne getting a 69 rating. 64 for Alex Riley. Nobody else is really doing great stuff, but there is a lot of potential in these 8 men. We kick off the main show with John Cena in the ring. He's chatting as the WWE champion, spinner belt still, ew. But that's what it is, spinner belt. And he's just chatting about being WWE champion, saying that he'll put this belt up against anyone. And he gets interrupted by the Awesome Truth. Miz coming out saying that John Cena stole that title from him in the triple threat match with Morrison. How he should be the one getting the title shot of Capital Punishment. Truth's like, oh, hold on. I know I'm your teammate here, but I'd kind of like a shot at that WWE title. John Cena just sits back and just watches them bicker with each other and just goes, you know what? If you both want a WWE title shot, why don't you fight for it? Main event tonight. The Miz versus R-Truth. The winner is the #1 contender for the WWE Championship. His 73 rating, good promo. Backstage, Chris Masters is just showing off his muscles to Kelly, who looks completely disinterested. She is not reciprocating anything, but being very sarcastic, but not being rude to Masters. Obviously, this is the Divas era, so it's tough to work through that, but that's what we've got to do with the talent we've got at the moment. We're working on it though. First match of the main show sees Dolph Ziggler versus Goldust. Goes 11 minutes and Dolph Ziggler picks up the win, locking in Goldust in a sleeper hold. Ziggler gets 72.57 for Goldust. Dolph Ziggler and Vicky have pretty good chemistry. That is very good to know. Gets 67 overall. And after the match, Dolph Ziggler calls out the United States Champion, Kofi Kingston, and he challenges him to a match for the United States title next week. So we're getting next episode of Raw, we're going to have Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston for the United States Championship. Gets a 65 rating, good stuff, gives Dolph something to do for the time being. The Miz and R-Truth are backstage, and they bump into Vince McMahon, and they're all flustered. They're just trying to get Vince to cancel tonight's main event. And he's like, no, the match is set in stone now. It's going to be The Miz versus R-Truth for the WWE Championship #1 contendership. There's no more arguments after that. The Miz and R-Truth are left completely with egg on their face as Vince walks off to his office. Drew McIntyre gets a squash match, defeating Apollo in 251. Gets with the Future Shock DDT back at this point. Claymore isn't a thing yet. 29 rating. We're going to try and build Drew up because he's very low down on the card at the moment. But obviously there is potential in him. Del Rio and Alberto Del Rio and Rey Mysterio are in the ring, and they're arguing with each other about who the top Latino star in WWE is. And out comes Ricardo Rodriguez, of course, Alberto Del Rio's former manager, and Primo Cologne. They're both putting in there because Alberto and Ricardo are sort of in a mini feud at this point because it's not long after they broke up after WrestleMania. And this leads to a tag team match. Teddy Long might be on SmackDown, but his essence lives here as well. And in a bout which has not great wrestling and little heat, the team of Rey Mysterio and Alberto Del Rio defeat Ricardo Rodriguez and Primo in 15:57 when Alberto Del Rio pins Ricardo Rodriguez with a bridging German suplex. Mysterio gets an 80, Del Rio a 75, Primo gets a 44, and however does tear his ACL, which will probably put him out for, I think ACL will probably looking to 6 to 9 months. Rey Mysterio and Ricardo Rodriguez gets a 35, gets a 58 overall. Not too bad. But yes, Rey Mysterio and Alberto Del Rio are going to be in a storyline together. Pat Patterson there telling me about the torn ACL. I did see that, Pat. CM Punk's having an interview with Mean Gene Okerlund backstage when Jack Swagger comes out and throws Punk into the TV screen, does the usual backstage interview attack. It's the same formula which has been done over and over again. And Punk is left laying, Swagger's over him and literally just brushes his foot across his face. In the microphone, Mean Gene's still there with the microphone and Swagger just screams into it. At Capital Punishment, Punk's going to death row. It's an 86 rating. Great stuff. John Cena bumps into Vince McMahon now, and he chats to Vince about the main event tonight. And Cena suggests to Vince, hey, why don't we make it a lumberjack match? That way neither of them, they can't try and escape to make it a draw. If it's a lumberjack match, they have to fight each other. Vince's like, that's a great idea, Cena. Lumberjack match will be perfect for this match. And it is made official that the main event tonight is a lumberjack match. 84 rating. Santino Marella tries to flirt with the Bellas, but gets shut down quite badly. In a comedic fashion, because it's Santino. Kelly defeats Maxine in 2 minutes 37 seconds with a K2 after Chris Masters runs out to distract Maxine. Gets a 39 rating. Kelly gets a 59, a lot better than Maxine's 14. And Masters and Kelly in a segment together again. This time Chris Masters, after showing Kelly all his muscles earlier, in this segment he is helping her win. Great stuff. It's a 39 rating. Then get an announcement that Joey Styles will be appearing on next week's Raw. I don't know why he hasn't got a picture. I'll sort that out after the show. 53 rating though. And the main event sees R-Truth defeat The Miz in a lumberjack match. You can see here we've got all our lumberjacks at ringside. With a corkscrew scissor kick. Goes over 20 minutes, gets a 72 rating. R-Truth gets a 71, The Miz gets a 77. Good stuff ratings from both guys there. And R-Truth will be going on to face John Cena at Capital Punishment, which we can go into this and book straight away. It's just going to be a straight singles match. John Cena versus R-Truth, the same main event that they had in real life. We're not going to book a winner quite yet. I'll book that on the show so that it doesn't spoil anything. And afterwards, John Cena quickly jumps up from the announce table where he had been doing colour commentary on the previous match, slides into the ring and hits an AA on R-Truth. Cena stands tall with the belt to end the show, because Cena stands tall, LOL. Overall, how did the show do? Gets a 74. We're not doing great early days, but we can improve on that. It's something which we can work with. Yeah, something we can work with. We can improve from here. We'll have SmackDown soon in the next episode. But other than that, I'm excited for this. And I hope you guys are too. I'm sorry about the previous series. If there's any ones that you're desperate for a return, please let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.